Welcome to the Tony Frida Show. Tony Frida here. We have the honor today of having Tracy Beanz as our guest. Tracy is an award-winning investigative journalist and health freedom pioneer who spent 2 decades asking questions that the official narrative didn't want asked, refusing to accept no for an answer, and then building an independent platform of over 1 million people to ask them louder. Her work has been cited in the Congressional Record. However, the deeper thread running beneath all of it has always been consciousness. This investigation of who we are beneath the conditioning, what becomes possible when we stop outsourcing what we inherently know, and how the same machinery that manufactures obedience also manufactures our disconnection from ourselves. Tracy brings that lens to everything: journalism, organizational leadership, and the ongoing personal work of learning to receive what she spent a lifetime helping others try to find. I've also written some pieces for Tracy for her website, Uncover DC. She runs with Gigi Bowman, right?
Yep.
Welcome, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. This is a long time coming.
Yeah, it's been a while since you did a bunch of podcasts and stuff back in the day. I remember you had what was it, Franks and Beans, or
It was Dark to Light with Frank and Beans. Because Frank, I mean, how do you not do that?
That's
it was
perfect,
just a happy accident, but
yeah. So I just wanted to read. So, I let this stuff get to me a little too much, and Tracy's has a better attitude than I do. But sometimes the darkness and the thing that kind of set me off the edge was beginning this war a couple months ago when they double tapped this Iranian schoolgirls school with Tomahawk missiles, and it's just like, I mean, this is being done in our name, and we're paying for it. It's like and it wasn't an accident, right? They knew exactly what they're doing. These were like the children of the IRGC. They knew what they were doing, and it's disgraceful. And then Trump disgraced himself by saying, I can live with it, and I had a hard time living with it. But so I was going through kind of a dark period, and Tracy wrote this very uplifting and a note that really made me kind of rethink the way I'm approaching all of this. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I read it from time to time because I need it. She wrote, "I don't think that those children need our suffering on their behalf. What happened to them is real, and the evil behind it is real. But I've had to ask myself whether absorbing that darkness actually serves them or anyone. Could it just be adding gravitas to a frequency that we clearly don't typically resonate with, amplifying the very thing that we wish to see disappear? Lord knows I spent many a year weeping inside all sorts of blank, but what I did add to the universe through that sadness and despair. Now, what did I add to the universe through that sadness and despair? What did I offer other than more of what made me feel negative in the first place? It may sound crazy, but the children themselves may be freer than we are right now, watching us carry what they've already put down. We want to see peace. I don't think we get there by fully embodying the horror. Empathy and compassion are so important. We may be overpaying the debt. I think we get there by being stubbornly and persistently the thing we want more of. It isn't bypassing. It's consciously choosing where we put our focus, intention, and energy." Thank you for writing that thoughtful note, Tracy. And again, welcome. You're in sunny Florida, right?
yeah, I'm in sunny Florida. And speaking of which, it may not be sunny for long because I'm in Florida. I'm just looking outside, and like every day around this time, the clouds roll in. We get a nasty thunderstorm, and then the clouds roll out. So if you hear anything in the background,
yeah, you get it over with quick. We get it for like days.
I know. I know. I never, because I'm from New York originally. I grew up there, and like I never knew that when it rained, it didn't rain all day. Like we're used to, if it's raining all day. Yeah. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But here,
in Florida, it rains. It gets it all over with. You could take a shower in the rain in Florida. It comes down so
beautiful,
intensely.
So great.
But I know you've been in the health freedom movement for quite some time, and I'd love to know more about your journey. Like, what got you started down this path?
Wow. Okay. So it was really after 9/11 that I kind of really, the light bulb went on, and I just couldn't sit there for the same reasons that you got upset about and I got upset about that what happened to those kids. I couldn't sit there and continue watching these lies when I knew that they were lies. And if other people knew that they were lies, we could probably do something to stop or change it. So I was 21 when that happened. And it just set the rest of my life in a different path. I was going to school to be a lawyer, and I was going to be, a defense attorney. Actually, that's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
And instead, I kind of delved into activism and education, and I still had a corporate, kind of gig going on the side. And I did the whole Ron Paul 2008 and 2012, and that's how I met Gigi. Actually, was back then, a long time ago now. And when I met Gigi, I was already kind of exploring the pharmaceutical industry because of the Gardasil vaccine. Because in 2006, 2007 was when the Gardasil vaccine was released. And that was also when Facebook was just starting up. And there were these groups popping up on Facebook of parents talking about how their kids were being absolutely damaged by the shot, their young girls. And that's what kind of flagged me on the health portion of the encroachment, as I guess you can call it, of our freedoms and liberties. So I started focusing on that a lot. And then I met Gigi, and I don't know if you know her story, but her daughter.
Yeah.
So her daughter was
Horrible.
prescribed Zoloft when she was 16, and it's off label that way. It's actually, you're not supposed to do it. The doctor prescribed it to her. She took it. She ended up committing suicide.
I know, it's so horrible.
Yeah. And I met her, and she told me her story. And then I was determined to fight for Katie and just make sure that, the more we talk to people about what's going on here, the more people will choose differently. And that's what it ends up being at the end of the day, is just how people are choosing. And so that kind of broke that off. And then obviously, that continued into, I started with the WikiLeaks emails in 2016. And that's kind of when I decided to forge my own path in journalism, because nobody would publish what I was writing. No one had the balls to publish what I was writing about all of the things going on. And people didn't understand what was inside those emails. Like, why is it important that, Barack Obama is choosing Citibank executives for his cabinet? Like, why does all this stuff matter? What's the Federal Reserve System at all? Like, nobody knew how any of this stuff worked.
Yeah.
And I had just spent a decade of my life studying how all of this stuff worked. So I'm like, all these people are like, it comes in waves, and it seems like, it comes in waves of wake up, right? And every wave gets exponentially bigger, and people start to realize things are wrong. And then they have to learn all of the things that the people who've been here for 3 decades know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can be a part of that. I can be a part of like trying to educate people on this stuff so that they can have the good information. And I did that for a really long time. And then COVID happened, and I met Del Bigtree, and there were very few of us actually doing good journalism on COVID. And I wrote a column that, nobody remembers it was me, but I wrote a column about where COVID originated. I was one of the very first people to talk about the lab leak theory, and I used CDC data to prove it. And then I worked with Ron Johnson on that. He's been on that from the very beginning. And as I was doing that, we had Celia Farber writing for us about the PCR test. She was the first person to tell anybody about Kary Mullis because she worked with him. So Uncover DC was really publishing some bangers.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I reposted some of it, and I got in trouble. So
Yes. And, I got sent, obviously I was, I did a lot on the election integrity front. And in that time, I lost my home to a fire. And then the gulag came down on me, and I was censored from all these platforms, and I was debanked, and I couldn't, bank anywhere. And it was crazy.
unbelievable.
But something, like, I saw a lot of people whining during that time.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I don't know. I just can't. I couldn't be like, wow, I can't talk on that. I'm like, let's do it a different way then.
Yeah.
And I did. Kane from Citizen Free Press was like, I'm going to just aggregate all your content. There were millions of people going to Citizen Free Press every day. So millions of people were getting Uncover DC's work and sharing it out with their friends. We just went around them. And when you really look at it, honestly, what we have done together is nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. I mean, you've been completely vindicated. All the things that you were censored and banned and debanked for were the truth. And they just this week are saying it in Congress that it's all true.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying this was, and Tulsi Gabbard just said that after decades of them saying we don't have biolabs, that's Russian conspiracy theory, that they just admitted they have 120 U.S. funded biolabs in 30 countries.
Yeah.
Manufacturing bioweapons, gain of function research. And then Senator Ron Johnson produced definitive evidence in Congress that U.S. public health agencies knew that the vaccines were dangerous, but said nothing.
Yeah.
And they put millions of people into accepting an injection that they knew had no public health benefit, was also deeply dangerous. And if you didn't do it, you lost your job. So, I mean, I don't know how to, this is why I say we have to expose the darkness. That's why I know your thing goes from dark to light, because you say, like you said before, nobody knows any of this stuff because we don't have a functioning mainstream media. That's why what you do is so vitally important. It's literally like the most important thing, because how can you fix something if you don't even know it's a problem? Because the media's not telling you.
I used to think that too.
Okay. Wait, so you've moved past that? Where are you? Tell me where you're at now, because I'm still figuring this stuff out myself.
I got really disheartened in 2023 now. It's so long ago. Everything is so long ago. I don't know. I was not okay at all with what Trump did with those shots. No excuse that anybody could give me. He didn't mandate them. I don't effing care. Like, he removed all of the roadblocks and restrictions that were put there by the government in the past to stop this kind of thing from happening to people. Like, people would come to me and say, you blah, 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 and yell at me for it. And I can't excuse it. I just can't excuse what he did with the shots. And he knows now what he did with them, and he still does not acknowledge it. And I've lost close family. I've lost friends. I have people suffering in my very immediate family from turbo cancer. Everybody's got a story like this. But in addition to my family, so many people that read our work and, followed what we did and tried to tell their family not to take it did. And they would come to me with their thoughts and feelings and hurts and I'm just like, and so I couldn't support him when DeSantis was in the primary. I could not bring myself to support Trump when there was someone else that I value so high. I mean, Ron DeSantis is like the libertarian candidate of our time. I mean, this is not a like commercial for why Tracy likes Ron DeSantis, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't sell out my soul and support somebody that I felt murdered somebody and millions of people inadvertently through their actions.
Yeah, the apologists for Trump it's a personality cult. I mean, he's playing 4D chess, and I'm not married to Trump. It's like, if he does something good, I'll give him credit. If he does something horrible, like, what are you doing? Like, you're going to get cancer and say it's okay because Trump did it? Like,
it's very strange. It's very strange. It's like a virus. It's It's very weird. And, so I got, I've always been known for telling like it is and how I feel and being, authentic about that. And I always was. And then all of a sudden, because I didn't fall in line, that wasn't okay anymore. And I received some of the most brutal attacks and hate mail and people telling me like, if they would have known that I would have done this, they never would have, donated to help me during my house fire, and I should have burned in my house fire. And
jeez,
all because I said, I'm so sorry, I cannot support Trump during the primary. There's another candidate that I support. That's the reason. And that that was enough for me to stop and do some like very serious self-reflection. It was around that time that my husband and I changed our lifestyle quite significantly. We were making a lot of personal changes in wellness and in relationships. And there was just a sea change going on, like consciously inside of my household at the time. And I'm like, outside of the kind of cult of personality that formed, that was impenetrable. People were just completely tunnel vision, very nasty, very angry. When Trump won the primary and what happened in Butler happened, and I saw all of that, and I also knew like a lot of what was going on with RFK and things like that. I said, you know what, like I can't not help bring this to the forefront now because I feel differently. Yeah. And so I kind of jumped on board trying to help Trump get elected again. And when I did that, he did what he said he was going to do. He brought in RFK to lead HHS. And for me, that was absolutely huge. It meant everything because of the way my lifestyle had changed. And as my lifestyle was changing and as I was stepping away from journalism, because even today, truthfully, there is no market for what I used to do. People are so polarized and like, they crave making these, and I'm just going to speak honestly and openly,
please do,
losers, these quote influencers that really have no, they don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's right. They're on a gravy train to Mar-a-Lago, and that's all that they care about. And unfortunately, the population writ large out there that would have craved independent, real, actual journalism in 2020 now just wants to be spoon-fed their helping of Trump pudding. And if you dare say, like, there's a little bit of spoiled egg in that pudding right now, they don't want to hear it.
No, I mean, the whole influencer game is disgraceful because I think about 80% of them, like you say, they're just mouthpieces for someone, either for, Trump campaign or for Qatar or for Israel or for the drug companies. I mean, they're just sold out mouthpieces making a lot of money. They're just reading, the talking points that they're instructed to read. They're just as bad as the mainstream press.
And that's changing now too. Like I'm seeing it everywhere. It's not like this is going to go on forever, but there was this sea change, like this period where if I did the work that I normally did, like it just would have fell on deaf ears. Like nobody wanted, like nobody cared about it anymore. And it really was very frustrating. So I still do like legal work and I still do health journalism. That I do because it's so important. I've gone through this like huge, like spiritual / I don't know, career / like everything is 100% different. I've realized, so I've done so much like self-work to make myself better and to like change how I think about us as a unit, as a one people, because we are all literally one. I really firmly believe we're like one kind of unit that just fractals of us have different perspectives and we bounce off of each other to come up with, I don't know, contrast to make the rest of it grow. Like that's, and so during like the COVID era, I came up, with this quote that I came across, and I don't even remember where: you will always cause your own suffering when you think you know what another soul's journey should be. Because I'm watching people shoot this vaccine into their arms and I am distraught beyond all recognition. I can't sleep at night. I'm crying. I'm like, that's not my path.
Yeah.
That's their path. Like I did everything I possibly could. I am only going to continue to suffer and make myself sick, feel terrible if I continue to carry the weight of their decision on my back.
That's a really good point. And that's a tough one, because it was such an injustice. Like the people like us who were trying to tell the truth and help people not take a dangerous experimental gene therapy, we were censored and shamed and fired and ridiculed and attacked, and the people who were lying to hurt them they trusted them rather than us. So I felt like it was in an insane asylum. It was madness like I've never seen before. And I've been around a long time, as you know, but, I think we kind of reverse engineered it pretty early. I got in trouble in March 2020 for
Me
saying,
too.
yeah, the ADL wrote a hit piece about me.
I have one of those.
Yeah, the ADL wrote this hit piece calling me extremist and conspiracy theorist because you know what I said?
What'd you say that time?
This is what I said. Anthony Frieda claimed that forced vaccinations were the goal, with Frieda suggesting they wouldn't let people back to work unless they could prove they've been vaccinated. What a lunatic I am. Oh my God, shoot me, put me in prison.
You remember we were all saying that in the Ben Shapiro's of the world? We're like, get vaccinated. And you're like, no, don't. Like, only 30% of the world didn't get vaccinated.
Well, that was their plan. They wanted the whole world to be turned into GMOs, and they did a pretty good job. Bill Gates and his cronies, that evil Dr. Fauci, they're demons. I think they're demons. I don't know if you look at that spiritually, but as far as because to knowingly hurt like 7 billion people, like you got to be pretty freaking evil.
I don't ever try to transport myself into them to figure out what they could have been thinking. But what I know, and this is what we have to work on, Anthony.
Okay. I need help, but because I want to know what they're going to do next. So I try to think, what if I was evil?
You don't need to worry about what they're going to do next.
Well, they're going to do it to me and to you. That's why
they're not going to do anything to you. Nobody can do anything to you. You have to allow them, because you have to allow someone to do something.
Well, if they censor me, if they fire me, like they're doing something to me, aren't they?
No, I mean, I can't consider myself a victim of those circumstances.
Okay.
I just wouldn't, and that's not to say that you're wrong. I'm just saying how I approach things. I don't, I feel this like radical personal responsibility I take over every single thing in my life, no matter what it is. I take personal responsibility for myself from head to toe, mind, body, spirit, and otherwise.
Yeah.
Nobody can do anything to me unless I let them.
You have kind of a Spartan philosophy, would you say?
I don't know.
That's one of the tenets of Spartanism.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it's a good way to live, but it's hard to live like that because most people don't. But I mean, I think in the very, if you break everything down to the most important and right way to live, I think you're right, but I'm not perfect.
Nobody is. Shit, you think I don't get pissed off and angry and all that? If I could have a key log of all of the things that I started writing and stopped ever, oh my gosh, I would have a diary and a half. People would hate me. They'd be like, oh, what an evil biatch that girl is. I feel you. I understand. And I've not been there. I mean, look, we did 5 years of research on human sacrifice and child sex trafficking.
Yeah.
I throw up after I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been there. I get it. I totally understand. It's not like I don't have the battle scars.
I know you do. I know you have them, and I know you've done. But I think it's great because, like I said, I like that title, "Dark to Light," because to me, it's that's the yin and yang, right? You need both. You need an understanding of the darkness so you can counteract it with this counterbalance of light and shining light into the dark places. There's a lot of symbolism there that I think can help inform our lives and have that whole of the yin and yang. But I think you've gone through the darkness, and now it seems like you're more subsumed with the light, which is great. And,
do you want to hear what I figured out? This is what I figured out. It's this was it. This was the thing that I never understood through all of the activism and all of the fighting and all of the, we deserve and you can't do this to us and the demanding justice and the righteous indignation and all of it. I finally figured out what the problem is. We spend so much time working on fixing what's outside of us. And literally 0 time fixing what's inside.
Yeah, that's really true.
Who can make a good decision from a place of fear? Nobody. Who can make a good decision from a place of sickness? Nobody. You're just desperate for somebody to make you feel well. And when you're sick, you feel like absolute garbage. You can't focus on things. You don't have energy. When you're caretaking for someone who's sick, Same thing. All of your energy and all of your everything goes into trying to help this family member who's not well. Spiritually, mentally, physically, doesn't matter. All the same thing in my mind. We can't even begin to change the people who are in quote power until we are actually whole and fixed ourselves. Decades of trauma that we've been through, like, being hurt and harmed by the way we've processed information, like all of it. So I was like, I'm gonna change my direction here. I'm gonna focus on making myself well, health wise, in body, in my brain, how I think about life and the way I walk through it, and in my spirit, and get right with God. And those were the three things that I decided that I was going to throw all of my energy behind.
Amen. Well, it's such a great way to look at it. And it's so true. I mean, it's deeply true, because if everybody listened to the better angels and we all lived like saints, rising tide lifts all ships. It would, if everybody did that and everybody didn't lie and cheat and steal and rape and murder, there'd be no crime. So right away, the earth is going to be a better place, closer to the paradise it could be if we all lived like angels and saints. But we can't, but we can at least try. We can look in the mirror before we look out the window and say, this guy's doing is wrong and that guy's doing wrong. It's like this shadow projection, it's a Jungian kind of idea. That, when we accuse someone, it's really a confession. And our anger is our own shame and guilt for whatever failures we have in our life. So I think that you're really onto the key, but it's a hard place to get to.
And it takes radical personal responsibility to get there. So you're a Jungian fan. You're a Jungian fan. So did you ever hear of the Sophia?
No.
Okay, so when we're done here, I'm not going to explain the whole concept.
Okay.
When we're finished, because I have studied now Jung for several years. That's like how I'm applying all of this to myself.
Yeah, great. That guy he got a download from God.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I have hold on.
Oh,
this little one is.
We need a puppy on the show.
She's jumping on me, so I'm just going to hold her.
She's adorable. So I want to switch gears a little. So you mentioned one of the things, I know you're very involved with this, getting your body as healthy as you can. So I don't know if you're still on the carnivore keto thing.
Oh yeah.
Could you tell people a little bit about that and how you came to do it and how it transformed your health?
Absolutely. Yes, I am still. It's almost 5 years carnivore now.
Wow.
Yeah, it changed. It was my husband, actually. My husband was very, very sick. He had MS and he was very, very overweight. He was a little over 400 pounds. He had lifelong clinical depression. He had insomnia. He had low testosterone. He was not okay. But his labs came back okay every physical. Cholesterol, great. Blood sugar, great. So no one ever said a word to him about anything. And I had stumbled across Michaela Peterson's TED Talk that was banned about the Lion diet.
Yeah. And
I sent it to him because he had just come home from a physical and his cholesterol was like a tiny bit high. And he freaked out. He was like, oh God, I'm going to die of a heart attack. I have to do something about this. And I sent it to him and he was like, I think I'm going to try this. And I was like, it's pretty extreme. Well, I'm like, I don't know, maybe you want to start a little bit. It was scary. Who does that?
Yeah, it's like Jordan Peterson only eats steak. I mean, that's pretty extreme.
It is, but I said, well, if you're doing it, then I'm doing it too. Cause I was super unwell also. I had a lot of things going on. So I had this condition called IIH. It's when your brain thinks it has a brain tumor and you produce too much cerebral spinal fluid and your brain swells basically.
Jesus.
You go blind and it's all kinds of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And to fix that, they put you on a low 800 milligrams of sodium a day max and a diuretic. That's the quote cure for IIH. But
wow.
We went carnivore together. And basically, without getting into the whole long story, he lost 230 pounds.
Wow.
He cured his MS. And I'm not just saying that. I have the MRIs to prove it. He healed lesions on his spine. They're gone. Gone.
Wow.
Undetectable is what the report says. His vision, his MS presented with optic neuritis, which is an inflammation of the optic nerve, and it caused him severe vision loss, and it's back, 20/20 vision. Clinical depression, he was on meds, gone. No meds. Sleeping, fine. Testosterone, way up. He healed himself through this lifestyle, and our entire lives, like, you know, they say, like, as you start to kind of awaken, for lack of a better word, you start to like not want to taint your body, your vessel anymore. You start to crave treating your body better. You know, maybe it's just I'm going gluten free. Who knows? Like, people make alterations to what they're putting inside their body when they start to reawaken to the truth of who they actually really are, and like their connection with God, because you realize you're in a temple. Like, my shirt says, I am not my physical body. But we're here right now inhabiting this physical body. So we need to take care of it if we want to get what we came here to do done. And so that's what happened to us. And it just revolutionized our entire lives. Like, I cured my IIH. My hair was falling out. I had a whole bald spot right here, and like was losing all my hair. I was puffy and inflamed. I was about 30.
You look younger than the last time I saw you. I could do a podcast a few years ago.
A lot of people say that, honestly. And even in person too, a lot of people say that I look younger than I did before. Yeah. I'll be 46 in a month. And people tell me that I look younger than they're like, huh? It's true, because you're healing your body, like, metabolically from the inside out. Like, the things that this does, it just basically allows you to set back to baseline. You're feeding your body exactly what it needs to thrive. You're getting, you know, you're becoming fat adapted, which means that you're no longer relying on sugar and carbohydrates and poison to stay active throughout the day. So like, my body runs on fat, not on fat and ketones, not on carbohydrates and sugar. Most people are just eating all kinds of garbage, and their body is running only on that. And what it doesn't use, it stores as, you know, fat in your ass, right? So my body doesn't work that way anymore. My body runs on the fat from my ribeye at lunch.
Yeah. Well, I got to try, because I want to look younger. It's not work. I mean, I need help just for vanity's sake. But
do it. It's not hard. It's the easiest
I got to talk
thing
to
ever.
my partner and see if maybe we'll give it a shot, because we're, you know, and the other thing is, like, this ties into the spiritual thing, because like, you're honoring God by, you know, like you say, this is our temple, like, by keeping it clean and maintaining it as well as you can. So it's almost like a holy thing. Like, it's like, you know, this is your temple. That means it's a holy space, and it is, because we're, you know, God's essence is within us.
Yeah.
So you need to protect and preserve that.
And you learn to love yourself again. Truly love yourself. Like, people don't do that. It's not selfish. It's what you're supposed to do. Love thyself. You're supposed to love yourself.
Yeah, because then the Jungian thing comes. If you hate yourself, you project that self-loathing or the things you hate about yourself onto others, and then you point your finger at them.
Yes.
So that's that. So, but if you love yourself, you're not doing that. So I think a lot of the guys who run the world, they're like these self-loathing misanthropes. They hate themselves, and they have the power to project it onto all of humanity and to manifest their hatred by their policies and their political power. So I think, like, if we can get, you know, Bill Gates to love himself, you know, and Fauci to love himself.
The only thing we have to do, truthfully, like, is do one thing a day to start. Just do one nice thing a day. Smile at someone for a minute. Open a door for somebody. Carry someone's groceries to the car. Like, do something small. Make someone, you know, compliment someone. If you see someone and you think that they look nice, just tell them. Like, one tiny little act of kindness a day. Like, I used to, this is the wrong way to do it, but I used to think to myself, like, since I've done so much study in spirituality and all, I used to think, like, what happens when I get up to my life review? What is it going to look like up there? What am I going to experience when I look back at my life and how I've made an imprint on this world? And that's not really necessarily the best place to come at it from, but I earnestly try to live the way that I try to just sprinkle a little sunlight everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
It makes you feel better too.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you feel better about yourself. And well, I think you're going to be fine when the ledger is read about you. You've done so many good things to help inform people and educate people and make them healthier and feel better. So, I mean, you're good. I wouldn't worry about that. But
You don't know everything, and
well, so you mentioned you're working or you're about to work with Del Bigtree. That's exciting. What, can you talk about it, or is it like hush hush?
screw it. Let's do it. Why not? I Dell myself, and this is a secret, guys. Don't tell anyone. I've been for the past year and some months. If I'm gonna focus my energy on trying to at least sprinkle this stuff around, like I was saying, like the body has an innate ability to heal itself. And we spend a lot of time talking about all of the things coming at it and very little time talking about healing at all. And so, like I said, if we're going to change anything, we have to start with ourselves. And so Dell and I and his brother Shad got together and started a company that it's a nonprofit and a public benefit corporation, two different kind of avenues. And the purpose of this is to take all of these beautiful healing modalities that have been around for centuries, acupuncture and homeopathy and herbalism and Ayurveda, and all of these amazing healing traditions that use the body's innate wisdom, that it's brought, you're born with this innate wisdom inside your soul of how to heal this magnificent body that we're living in every single day, and educate people on those healing modalities, how they work, why they work, the science behind them, where you can, how you can apply them in your own lives, and then connect people to practitioners in their area that are practicing these healing modalities. Like, instead of going to the doctor to get an antibiotic or, going to the doctor. Of course, if you break your arm and the bone's sticking out of your freaking arm, you got to go to the emergency room. I get it. But we can really, truly reinvent the healthcare system in this country if we started focusing on holistic wellness and wellness before we're sick and root cause healing. So this company exists for that reason, to teach people about all of this, how it works, where you can find it, how you can apply it, and then connect you to a practitioner that can actually help you and support you. Can you share a video? Like, can you play a video right now, like in this interview?
I can attach it to the post. Yeah.
But you can't play it like right now.
Right now, no. I haven't figured that out yet.
I can do it. Hold on.
Okay.
This wasn't planned, everyone.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out some of the technical stuff, but we'll get there.
Here we go.
That's very exciting because, I mean, obviously this current system is not working because the pharmacological system, because we're the most heavily prescribed and at the same time the sickest and most obese population in the world. So something doesn't add up. If these wonder drugs work so well, why are we so sick?
Ooh, you can see it, can't you?
Yes, it's right there.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
World premiere.
That's very exciting.
Tell me if you can hear it.
I see it.
Can you hear it? You don't hear the music?
Not yet.
Hold on. It was playing. I'm going to figure this out, damn it.
Well, it's a world premiere here on the Tony Frieda Show.
You know what? We need to go with the flow here. So how do you share sound?
Well, send me a video and I'll figure out a way to edit it. If you can send it, I don't know.
Just not the same. It's playing it for everyone.
So we'll figure that out. But that's all right. But this is it's called Wisdom. It's really exciting, and I mean, that is huge because you watch the news and like every other ad's a drug ad. I mean, and they all at the end they list all these horrible side effects. Like then you got to take another drug to counteract those side effects. Next thing you're on polypharmacy, you're on 10 different drugs. Everybody knows somebody's on 10, 20 scripts. And the system is not working, obviously. And there's so many billions of dollars at stake that they're never going to tell us. The news media is owned by the companies that make this stuff, so it's conflict of interest. But if we can create a parallel structure of information and a parallel structure of healthcare, like you're trying to do with those two in tandem. I mean, that's so exciting, and that is the answer. It helped millions of people uh, suffer less and live with less fear and pain and anxiety. And I mean, what a great thing to do with your time and your energy. And
Thank you.
I'm really excited to hear that. And I can't wait to hear more about it.
I'm super excited too. I live this every day. I mean, obviously, when you're founding something, you have to pour everything of yourself. But this is what I've been working on for over a year now, almost a year. It'll be a year next week, actually, that we've been kind of grinding away, building this thing. And Dell was the brainchild of the whole concept, and like then he and I and Chad were just talking and coming up with it. Just bloomed, because he spends 90% of his time talking about the problems too. At
Yeah.
ICANN and the High Wire, like that's what their goal is. Is to educate people on what's going on in the health space in a way that, yeah. So
Yeah, he's great, and I haven't seen his movie. I know he has
oh yeah,
a new movie out. I got to see that. Sounds really powerful. But he's just such a great communicator, and he's just got that passion, and he's the man. I'm a fan, so I'm volunteering anything I can do to help you guys. You let me know. I'd be happy to join any way I can, because it's such an important mission.
well, I'm only going to let you come in if you promise that you're smiling for at least 30% of the time you're there.
I'll do my best.
We have to live what we work. That's what I said. I'm like, no working on the weekends. Everybody takes their 2 days mental health. Nobody listens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really is. You have to learn to live with joy, and there's always a reason to be angry or depressed or cynical. But then, like you say, then that energy, you're just adding that energy to the world. Even if it seems righteous, you're still adding a negative energy to the world, and that is a profound concept. But to put it into practice, I mean, you have to consciously work on it every day.
Yep. You do. Did you ever do the meditation the sign up for the meditation that I sent you?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I try to meditate, and I try to do this work, but not as consistently as I should. But talking to you helps, because this reminds me, and I do read your note from time to time, just when I'm really feeling despondent or just demoralized.
I think about you often, and it says a lot about your heart that you care so deeply. That is a beautiful quality that you have. It is a beautiful quality that you have, because you're an empathetic, caring, loving soul. That is why you hurt so badly when you see injustice. You have so much to give to the world, that you're dimming yourself and what your gifts that you have to give when you embody all of this. Like, you're taking it in yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're sponging it up instead of processing it and leaving it where it belongs.
Yeah, well, I guess well, thank you for those kind words, but I think, part of being an artist is you're sensitive, so I'm maybe a little too sensitive, and I let these things, I feel them deeply. I do. And I feel like I have to do more. But it also keeps me going, in the fight. And I know you too, we're not going down on our knees,
No, they're never
we're going
getting
down
rid of
fighting. I know Gigi's not going down on her knees.
No, that woman doesn't. She know.
So we're going down fight. We're going down swinging, and if we go down, we go down. At least we go down with our head held high and not on our knees. And that's something, even that is something.
Yeah, it is. But if there's anyone out there that is listening right now, feeling the same way, like nothing's ever going to change, if you're feeling hopeless or you're feeling despondent or you're feeling like, nothing you do makes a difference, like just instead of worrying about everything out there, worry about what's going on here. Get that right. Just, I swear by, I met this guy named Mark Serto because I started doing a lot of psycho-spiritual work, like really deep spiritual work, trying to fix what's broken, or at least understand what's broken so that I can approach things differently. And I started I went on this retreat at Monroe. I don't know if you ever heard of the Monroe Institute or Robert Monroe or Joe McMoneagle or any of those people. Joe was the guy who started the remote viewing program for the U.S. government.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah, but
That's fascinating.
yeah, so I went and I did their week-long retreat in Virginia at the Monroe Institute. Robert Monroe was the guy who was famously, he went, he would wake up floating outside of his body and he thought he was going crazy and like losing his mind. And he went to all different doctors to try and get it. Like there's a lot more here, guys, but I'm being brief. But anyway, long story short, he got all these tests. Doctors told him everything's fine. You're fine. You should go to see these monks. And he's like, I don't have time to do that. He was like one of the biggest radio magnates back in the day before television. So he started trying to engineer sound so that the human mind could, hear these sounds and then enter these altered states of consciousness more easily to try and replicate what he was experiencing in meditation. So he was the inventor of binaural beats. How that works is one frequency playing in this ear, another frequency playing in this ear, and your brain will synchronize to the difference between those two frequencies. So when you listen to this audio, basically what's happening is they're using this to put you in, either the delta brainwave state for deep sleep or the theta brainwave state for more relaxation. But you learn how to stay in this place called the hypnagogic state, which is, right before you're about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
You hear things going on in the background. You're still consciously but you're not awake. That's what you learn to do. You learn to go there and stay there without falling asleep and without being awake and sync your brain waves and then kind of move through exercises to learn more about yourself and, whatever, and go out of body if you want, and all kinds of stuff that's available to us that we've been taught is bad.
Yeah, no, that lucid state where you're basically connecting your subconscious and your conscious mind, they're both in action at the same time. That's, as an artist, like that's when you're at your most creative. Like Salvador Dali used to take a nap and hold an egg in his hand like this. So when he fell asleep, like he would try to, not drop the egg, and he would get himself like right in between that state of wakefulness and sleep.
The threshold.
Right at that threshold, and that's where you get his most creative ideas. So
beautiful. That's where you're most open to, you're most open to yourself, and tell me you've never heard an artist or yourself say, it's like I channeled it. I didn't know where it came from.
Yeah, absolutely happens. That my best ideas happen. I think they're downloads from someplace like the spiritual internet. That there's something to that, and I've experienced it. I wish I had it more, but now you're saying you can consciously, work to get to that place. That's exciting.
Takes me now. I've been working this for years now. Takes me 5 minutes.
Wow.
And you can do it. So I met this guy, like I was saying, this guy named Mark Serto. Because I outgrew Monroe. Like I had consumed every last thing I possibly could from the Gateway Project. I did all of the exercises. I got to focus level 24. I did it all. And I'm like, all right, I need more now. This is not enough for me anymore. I need more. I want to understand more. I want to learn more. This field of consciousness that's out there, it's so vast. There's so many things that are available to us as human beings that we've been conditioned to think are just not good for us, but it's just inherent in us that we can do these things. So I'm like, let me keep going. Found Mark Serto, and he has a program called the Triad Mind. The first one is called Cornerstone, and it's like 20 something exercises, and it takes you through this whole journey of self-discovery and self-realization based on Jung. The whole entire thing is just, it's not religious at all. It's not, there's none of that. It's just it's consciousness work for yourself to self-actualize and self-realize. That's what the whole purpose is. And then there's another portion after that called Unity, the second program. And that is to become one with Source, with God again, with all that is, again, to learn how to coexist as one kind of, we're all one. The desk is energy. It's part of us. Like everything is one. So that's been the work that I've dedicated myself to, like every single night for like 5 years now, trying to like really be the best me I can be here. And what I've learned after all of it, honestly, is the best times in my life, the things that are the most amazing, when all of it clicks and ideas come and creativity flows, are when I spend time in gratefulness, spend time in prayer, and I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I want to get those links and I'll put them in the show notes because I think it's I mean, this kind of stuff can change the world, but like you say, you got to the way to change the world is start with yourself.
Yeah.
Going to a protest, I tried all that stuff, and it's just that's not it. You got to fix you, get right with God, get right with your connection to the infinite and the infinite divinity within you.
Yeah, and people think that it's a very touchy subject because I wanted for a long time nothing more than to scream all this from the rooftops. But I'm sure it'll happen here too. Like there will be people in the comments that'll say like, "Oh, that's demonic," or you'll be taken by an evil spirit, or all of it. There's all kinds of beliefs and like misinformation, and everybody's got an idea, and the Catholic Church says this, and then the Christian Bible says this, and I just know from experience how I feel, and I know my relationship with God, and I know that I'm good with him, and I spend a lot of time talking to him, so that's all that I need.
That's all you need. I mean, really, to me, I totally agree with you, and I'm really going to work harder to fix myself and get myself right, and try to live with joy and forgiveness and grace and God's grace and gratitude, all the things you mentioned. I mean, and try to really stay away from fear and anger and feeling demoralized, because then you're on that frequency. You're totally right. Then you're feeding into that frequency. You're amplifying it through your, because we're a transmitter and a receiver of energy. And just because we're receiving negativity doesn't mean we have to transmit it or absorb it and let it destroy us.
You'll receive less negativity the more positive you become. These are things that can't resonate together. The more positive you become, the less of the negative you'll have in your experience. And if everybody did that, where would the negative be? It's all your perception of the reality around you. And it's not easy. None of this stuff is like you wake up one day and you don't want to, this isn't spiritual bypassing either. Like people say that it's not. You, I'm sure, have gone through some really difficult times in your life that you maybe have not processed yet, that you maybe have some shadow you need to work on, or that you maybe haven't opened up that attic door yet, that all that stuff's hiding in, and that's a big part of it. It's a big part of it.
Yeah, I got a couple of those doors that
Me too.
I kind of peeked inside and I shut it again. Maybe later.
It was very cold in there. The air came blowing out at you. Like,
it's not a pretty place, but I do need to do more work, shadow work, and like Jung says, if you don't integrate your shadow, then you project it. So it's about shadow integration and confronting it. And spiritual work is not for the faint of heart, because you're going to confront your own demons and darkness and shadow self, and it's not fun, but you have to push through that experience to get any benefit from it. And it also takes a lot of courage and moral fortitude to and responsibility to work on yourself like that.
Yes, and it's you sometimes, like, you have to have the ability to look at yourself and see where you were wrong, to see like where your ego is kind of superseding what your heart actually knows. You have to be able to like really see yourself from outside of you. And the Cornerstone program is just that. It takes you through the superconscious, the conscious, and the subconscious, and like you go through this exciting journey where you know, you might spend 3 months on your subconscious, and the stuff that comes up is just, you know, there's a lucid dreaming aspect to it as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's really, this is all internal work that if everybody did, the world would absolutely change. I have no, getting people to do this depth of work on their mind and their consciousness is really difficult.
Yeah.
It takes a commitment and it takes a readiness, and not everybody is even there. Like, so I'm like, let's get healthy first, right?
You start with that.
Body wise.
Body, mind, and spirit. If you get those 3 things right, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But
And nobody,
did you ever read Rudolf Steiner's work at all?
no.
Because he had some really interesting ideas about spirituality, and what you're talking about sort of dovetails with his work 100 years ago. But it's really, that's the place. Working on our own consciousness is where we're going to elevate humanity. I really believe that that's it. But you're right. It's 3 things: body, mind, spirit. And the body's the easiest one to start with, right? You know, get healthy. What you put in, you know, garbage in, garbage out. So you know, put good stuff in. And then this thing happens, like when you do good stuff or healthy stuff, like you want to do more of it.
Yeah.
The same thing happens in the reverse. If you just, you know, if you're drinking and smoking and eating junk food, like you just keep doing it, you know, one bad thing leads to another bad thing. But the opposite is true. One, you do, you know, you work out and you feel good. You know, you eat healthy and you feel good. So you want to keep that ball rolling.
The worst part is, like, me and my husband are like, people would call us extremists now, because you just migrate here. Like, you get to the point where even your laundry detergent is clean. Your water is clean. Your laundry detergent is clean. Your cleaners that you use in your house are clean. You know, you want a HEPA filter, or a full house UV light. You want, you're not like, it's not like you're afraid to exist in the world. You're going to get microplastics. You're going to do, you know, have a beer sometime. Not like that. But if you can control your environment and what you're consuming on a daily basis, we do. If I could show you, we're like crunchy people now.
well, some people go, so I don't know if you heard of this, is a new trend. So our clothes are all poison, and they're poisoning us with petrochemicals and God knows what.
True.
So there's people that are, this is a new thing where they'll go to thrift stores and buy clothes from like the 1920s, was just made out of cotton.
My husband.
So, I mean, that's interesting. Like, people don't realize that even your clothes are poisoning you.
This is your biggest organ right here. Are you slathering crap all over it every day? Like, I only use, like, this is just made from bee honey, organic bee, like, you know, bee colony near my house. That's what I use. I have a tallow, grass-fed tallow lotion that I use. That's it. That's all that goes on my skin. I don't use any like
sunscreen. Sunscreen's like cancer.
I don't use sunscreen. I use coconut oil. It has natural SPF.
That's a good tip. You need that in Florida. You probably go through a lot in Florida.
Yeah, like I'm literally, I was at the beach last week, 2 weekends ago, and I slathered myself in coconut oil and I laid out there for like 6 hours. Did I burn? Yes. Did I peel? No, I did not, because I took care of my skin afterwards with aloe that I cut myself, and freaking tallow balm, and like jasmine and lavender, and I just take care of my body.
Well, good for you. I mean, what, like you say, you start with the body, work on the mind, and then the spirit, and you're going to be good. I want you to have the last word. Please let people know where to find your great work, and and I'll put some links in the show notes. But thank you so much. And what's her name? The little girl?
Lily.
Very cute.
Hi.
Okay, bye now.
I have 6 cats and 2 dogs. Okay. You still uncoverdc.com. You can go to X or any of the socials. I'm still on there at Tracy Beanz. I'm still writing for ICANN at the High Wire, so you can find my op-eds there with my amazing co-author. And I'm around. You're gonna see very soon the Wisdom launch is coming, and I'm counting on everybody out there to help me with that, because it's going to be world changing if it does what we think it will. So yeah,
it's really exciting. Good luck with it, and like I say, let me know if I could help. Tracy Beanz, thank you so much for your time.
I love you.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye now.